Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, classic, non-classic. This episode number 20. Yeah, it's episode number 2848. And Doubleshot number 2741. Yeah. This is going to be interesting. So we're discussing Howard the Duck Volume 3, which selected the trade, Howard the Duck. Yeah, this is a 5-issue miniseries written by Howard Duck's creator, Steve Gerber. And he does something in his book that I kind of felt as though this is him getting back at Disney, for daring to sue him over the fact that Howard the Duck's beak was too similar to Donald Duck. So what did he do? He turned Howard the Duck into a mouse. I'm not kidding about this. He seriously did this. And I think he did this just to get back at Disney for daring to sue him. And yes, it's published in Max imprints. You know what that means? Nudity! Lots of nudity, this one. It's like basically the Marvel Max imprint, I think Marvel's attempt to an adult-type imprint, similar to Vertigo, but Vertigo actually had a critical acclaim stories. Max, the only one that was successful was Punisher. Yes, that's the weird thing related to this line. Punisher was the most successful character under this line. Everything else mostly was miniseries or attempted was ongoing series. It got canceled after a year. And here's the weird thing about this line. This line virtually disappeared around the time Disney bought Marvel in 2009. Yeah, that's a weird thing. Does anybody find that weird? That this line just stopped being published? Oh, and if it's an adult comic book nowadays, excuse me, it no longer has the Max. Occasionally Max labels popped up over the years. Occasionally, like you put out Max in the book, or just usually like lately they put like for mature readers, but never the Max Comics the logo has ever appeared on the comic book since then. Normally, if it's a Max book, it would say Max on it, or just be an adult time comic book. Mostly put just Howard and Beverly has gone to a place where he's transferred to the mouse by Dr. Bong, who gets his little bong hand broken in the story. Oh, and in case you're curious though, do we see Beverly butt naked in the story? Yes, we do. And Howard becomes not only a mouse, he also becomes an anteater, like a duckfish. It's bizarre to say the least. It's like I said, the best way to describe this book is Howard. It's like okay, this is Howard the Duck. The plot is Steve Gerber hates Disney, so he basically wants to make Howard the Duck into a mouse to get back at Disney for suing him over freaking beak. That's it. It's not a terrible book per se. It's just that this is how I kind of feel about it. Is that he was like, at the time this came out, it probably had been a good about 20 years since the lawsuit happened. And he was asked, from what I heard, he was asked multiple times, can you please change the beak? And he said no multiple times. And this probably later led when Howard was brought back, his beak was changed. When he was brought back for Guardians of the Galaxy, the beak does look different than it did originally. Now, do I buy the fact that beak was changed due to Disney buying it? Disney bought Marvel just to back at Steve Gerber for a stupid lawsuit from the 70s. I highly doubt it. That's probably not the reason why. Disney bought Marvel for their movies. That's it. That's the only reason why, because they like the media property. They like the fact that the Iron Man 1 and Incredible Hulk did really well, so they wanted to end an action, so they bought the whole company. That's the reason why it had nothing to do with Howard the Duck at all. But here's also kind of weird though. Like Howard the Duck had been occasionally been appearing since this point. Like aside from the miniseries, he was appearing like cameos. And then for a while, he just stopped appearing until 2015, when he was given our ongoing series again. And the only reason, because he made a cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy. That was it. What did I give Howard the Duck Volume 3? 8.5 out of 10. Alright, next up we have is Punisher Warzone. Yeah, here we're discussing issues 7 to 22 along with annual number 1. Now, 7 through 12 is written by Chuck Dixon. Yeah, this is sort of a semi-continuation of the previous volume, of that first 6 issues. That's kind of what the first 6 issues are. It's like continuing that story, and then he took some time off from the book. Like, right after this, we had Dana and Lenny take over the book for a brief period. Even Larry Hama got in the action. Yeah, so mostly put in the case of this book, well, yeah, it's like the mobster girl from the previous 6 issues. She's here, and she's like the only survivor of the whole family. Oh yeah, she's the only one who survived, and she's back here for these issues. She's basically a main character up to issue 11. Yep. After issue 11, she's never seen again until Punisher War Journal 71. Yeah. Oh yeah, and also issue 7 was the first appearance of Lynn Michaels. Who is Lynn Michaels? The future female Punisher. Yep. Which she would not become Punisher for about a year. Yeah. Yeah, then we have in issue number 8 through 11, we deal with the Carbine Assassins, which the whole thing with these guys is that they want revenge against Punisher for murdering the family. And by issue 12, pretty much all but Rocket kill her off. Rocket got killed off later, but that's basically what it's got there. Yeah. 12, meanwhile, though, I thought it was issue 11. No, it was 12. Issue 12 starts off this storyline called Family Ties, which, yes, I'm sure that Dan Abnett probably had it as a nod to, of all things, a TV show. Family Ties to Michael J. Fox, that's probably what it is. Yeah, we also have a debut of Kim Castle, Donna Castle, and Mick Castle. Kim Castle is probably supposed to be Punisher's fake wife. Yeah, and she's only here. It's like, oh, let's give Punisher a family life. And Microchip contacts him later on in the story. He's like, what the heck is going on? Yeah, this whole thing was like it is one of the most bizarre stories I've ever read. Like, one of the covers, I think it was issue 13, I think it was, where it's like Punisher mowing his lawn, and it's forming a freaking skull. Yeah, it's a bizarre story. And it is shocking this saw print. Punisher living a suburban life for a few issues. Then Andy Lane joins the book. We have the first appearance. We bring back Microchip, who's absent. We have an issue called the Jericho Syndrome. Great! I love the title of the story. First appearance of a character named Jack O'Luck, who's only here just for the issues and the Punisher, and we'll discuss in our comic corner. Yeah, it's like this whole thing here is like a 3-part story. Yeah, that's the whole thing with Jericho Century. It's basically just a 3-part story. And the finale guest stars Wolverine, which awesome. Issue 20 has the first appearance of the Cost Nostra. Cost Nostra was a crime family who appeared in the main Punisher book, and Larry Hama, who took over issue 20, introduced the Gambrell family, who were only there for just a couple issues. Yeah, they were there for a couple quick appearances. They had Don Gambrell, who actually got killed off in this debut issue here. Also appearance of the Faunus family. Yeah, you can kind of say that these 2 issues are mostly put just Punisher versus more crime bosses. They're like, okay, interesting. But before it ended, now, okay, so 22 is a standalone issue, where it has a character name, and we have guest appearance here by a Larry Hama creation, Tiger, from the Wolverine comics. Actually, she's a creation of Chris Comics eventually, but yeah, because prior to this, Larry Hama wrote her in the pages of Wolverine. Yeah, she had been recurring character Wolverine for quite a while, and then she just appears in this book. Yeah, I think her appearance in this book was like a quick guest appearance after Night Thrasher Volume 1 wrapped up, and then she appeared. The next time she appeared was in Markham Presents number 152, which was released like a year, or at least 2 years after that. But good main issues. I like the main issues. But what about the annuals? I'm only discussing A number 1 because A number 1 basically came out this period of time, so why not? A number 1, the story is called Bulletproof. We have first appearance of a character named Parallax. And he's only here. Actually, after this, he does return after this annual. Yeah, he actually returned in the Punisher Countdown story arc. Yeah, the opening story is by Chuck Dixon. Yep. The second story by Stephen Grant. On the last story in here is now by George Cole. It's a really interesting stuff. You also have Lewis Williams on the artwork, one of them. You have John Bushman on the opening story. But I love the Chuck Dixon one. It was amazing. Yeah, and also there's a character named Mickey Fazon. Fandanzi, who is a Chuck Dixon character who, after the opening 6 issues, yeah, he appeared occasionally, mostly a lot of Chuck Dixon stuff. It's like Chuck Dixon apparently was the only one allowed to write because that's what it seems like. It seems like every time he showed up, Chuck Dixon's always the writer of the book. Yep. But not really much else to say about this book. These issues, I really enjoyed them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, to notifications, and do this like button. Oh, I give Punisher Wars Zone issues 7 through 22 in the annual a 9 out of 10. Okay? But yeah, so next up, Fatal Frame. Okay? Next video. Bye.